Okay, we've got Ismael. Can you still see me? Are you frozen? So in the meantime, while we get Ismael back, he's off. He's off. So Ishmael's going to come back on when he's ready. In the meantime, I just want to set up the space for the deep dive that we're about to do, and whether it's interference, passwords, doesn't matter. We all sorts of funky stuff can happen on these interviews, as I've experienced in the past. And he's back on. So my suggestion would be is let's just set an intention for the rest of this interview, is that we're in a safe and sacred space. And so everyone who is live right now, before we get Ismael back on, just connect and breathing in and breathing out. Just knowing that you, as the divine being who is sitting in this space together, as we welcome another incredible divine being into our space, that we collectively share an intention to keep raising the consciousness, and that we are protected, that any interference, that anything less than the frequency of love is obliterated in this space, is transformed, transmuted, unwelcome in this space, never to enter into our field. As we call in and call to Archangel Michael and the blue flame of power and protection, we ask that everyone who's in this conversation, who's live, and who's in this conversation in a recording is protected. And only the highest frequency of the highest of the high is welcome to this space. And I appreciate you. We appreciate Ismael. I think he's back on now. Let me check. Ismael, are you back on? Oh, he is.
Yes, I am.
Oh, wonderful. Well, just with all sorts of funky stuff, we're just setting up some space with the family.
Okay, so let's try IG once again if you want. I've already set my phone. I mean, turned it off and turned it back on.
Okay, shall I go, or you want to try it? Do you want me to try it?
Try one last time, and then I'll try it if it doesn't work on your end.
Okay, perfect. You just need a live one more time, and if not, we'll just continue on the Zoom, and then I'll edit it. You can post it, and it'll be live on YouTube. As in, I'll edit all the fluff that we've been going through at the beginning. I'll edit that bit, and then I'll send it to you, Ismael. I'm now live. We're trying one more time with Ismael. You just need to, I will tag you. Hang on.
Can you send the request?
There you are. You've joined. And I'm going to invite to join.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going to screenshot what it's doing, and I'm going to send it to you right now, just to your text. I'm texting you on that, Ismael, so you can see what it's doing. And this is the bit that you're going to need to probably sort out when you're offline, when you get your password.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you see it?
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Did you see the text I just sent you?
Let me see. Oh yeah, this is
yeah. So that's
to join. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I can't use my live.
Yeah, you can't. So everyone, we've tried this a few times with Ismael. He's reset his phone, and Ismael can't use his live at the minute. So we're gonna go straight over to my YouTube channel right now, and we are on. It's just Anikiko, and it's live there. I can't exactly post the link in this Instagram chat, but it's just youtube.com/Anikiko, ANIKIKO. So we are live on there. I'm going to go off, but we're going to record everything here. Bummer, yeah, sorry, Blue Star. We actually did do a beautiful protection, set up the space just a few minutes ago while Ismael was working out his thing. And we're going to record the Zoom for you. We're going to have a powerful conversation just on Zoom, and Ismael will post it on his channel. as soon as we're done, within the next 24 hours or so. So if you want to be asking any questions, please hop over to the Anikiko YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Anikiko, Anikiko, for any live questions. Otherwise, we're going to see you in the comments on the reposts. Have a beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous day, everyone. Beautiful souls. And I really look forward to seeing you next time. Okay. All right, Ismael, we're going to continue. Okay, so if you want me to help you with that, then I'm happy to do it. If you want to bounce back on texts, it shouldn't be too hard, but it sounds like you've got to sort something out on the Apple side of things before you can do the update. Yeah. Okay. Welcome, Ismael. We're in the space. We've got quite a few questions. Firstly, you've been doing an amazing tour, and I think you said you were going to cover a lot more ground next time you're going to fly, right? So that's a great choice. I think it's going to definitely be able to reach more people. And next year you've got a tour coming up. We were talking about. I'm excited that you'll be visiting Australia, so I'm already thinking about all the things that you can do here in Australia. That's going to be amazing. You've been talking a lot about the golden city that has been emerging, and as a result of raising consciousness and even the whole field of the earth, the heartbeat of the earth is raising its vibration. So I'd love to talk a little bit more about that and any, I guess, angles or things that you haven't covered. We've also got quite a few questions in the chat. So first I invite you to please share any updates from your end and what you see is happening, especially in the last 2 weeks.
A lot of things are heading to a climax, you could say, between the old paradigm that is still trying to hold on to intact, and then, of course, the new paradigm, the new reality that is emerging through the spiritual work that we're all doing. So things are really heading into a climax. And I think that has a lot to do with the bifurcations of the two earths. So there are two earths. There is the spiritual earth, and then there's the physical earth. And from what I understand, and according to Dolores Cannon and many others, it is believed that any day now, those two earths are going to split. And so the spiritual earth is going to be known as the new earth. It's still going to be physical. As you know, physicality exists all the way to the 12th dimension. And the physical earth is going to be separating into where all the natural catastrophes, the geological changes, the tsunamis, the earthquakes, all that's going to be happening. So it's part of a harvest, where the righteous of the planet go into the spiritual earth, and then the wicked of the planet, unfortunately for them, are left behind. And it's not like we're going to be teleported anywhere. It's just going to be a translation where the stargates open up and we go through the stargates like that. And then next thing you know, we are in this, that's when the split took place. And so for those that make the shift, they won't be witnessing or experiencing any of the catastrophic events. So it's heading to that point. Things are really, and we even see it within the realm of the Y hats. We have Elon Musk now with tweeting, just dropping a little bit of information regarding the corruption, the deep state. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that the Y hats are actually using him. They told him, "Hey, listen, we're about to, drop the bomb on the dark side here, and we understand that you're working on creating some sort of a neural link with AI that's going to interface humanity. Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't want us to bust you for that, because as you know, transhumanism is a threat. The Y hats made it clear to him." You have no other options but to work for us and begin dropping the intel that's going to lead to the EBS and the disclosure. So things are probably going to be heading into that direction. Some believe it's probably going to be by December, the end of the year. Others believe it's probably going to be sometime before the spring of next year. But from what I understand, due to the Jupiter alignment, right, we're approaching some sort of rare alignment that has to do with Jupiter, which symbolically is the sun overthrowing the tyranny of his father, Cronus Saturn, is about to repeat itself again. And then that intimately ties in with the rise of the Golden City that I've been talking about. Now, the Golden City has been the most ancient, the most sought out secret expedition that many secret societies have been after for thousands of years. But because it is guarded by stargates, and it's guarded heavenly by an advanced spiritual race that during the times of Atlantis were known as the Olympians, and now they have moved up to the seventh dimension. And it appears that the Olympians are still around. They're just guarding the city of gold. And it also appears, Anikiko, that the Olympians have physical avatar, third dimensional avatars. So they have human representatives on the surface. So when the shift takes place, they're going to be fusing. The seven dimensional guardians that are at the core of the earth are going to be fusing with their third dimensional avatars.
That is so
And that
exciting. That is
it
that,
is.
And you were going to say that explains. You were just about to say
the rise, emergence of the gods and goddesses living among us as starseeds.
oh, that is so exciting. And I don't know about you or anyone else who's listening right now, but I've sometimes have memories and dreams of myself in different embodiments, right? And where I've been just this translucent being, massive being. I was translucent, inside the pyramids, doing some sound stuff, just really interesting stuff, as well as different other embodiments. I'm wondering what you're talking about. Is there a way that while we're still like in the 3D form, like, can we connect with those seventh dimensional selves? Perhaps if we're having these experiences, would that mean that we might be connecting with those aspects, or that consciousness is connecting with us? Or is there a way we can expand our consciousness to connect with those higher dimensional aspects of ourselves? Have you got any advice or things we can do there?
Well, we already are.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Zeus knows who he is, Jupiter. I know that Saturn, Aries, Athena, Hermes, they all know who they are.
Yeah.
And the Olympians already know who they are. They've already been that's their higher self, pretty much. They've already been communicating with their higher self. And so they know that they're going to be the inner core of the 144,000. And the 144,000 are really the Starseed nation. And that's just a symbolic number. It's millions of us, millions of Starseeds in the earth that represent the council of the 144,000. And so the Olympians that are already living among us are ready to fuse with their seventh dimensional bodies. And as to why they are getting ready to allow the city of gold to rise to the surface. And the city of gold is the headquarters of the inner earth societies. So there are actually a total of 8 or 9, not just Shambhala and Agartha or Telos. We also have about 3 what we call oceanic advanced civilizations, where the humans, certain humans from previous epochs, were able to genetically modify themselves to actually exist within the water. And they've developed beautiful advanced civilizations deep within the ocean beds. And they are positively interacting with star systems and worlds within the Milky Way and other galaxies through the Stargate technology. They're free to go and come as they please. So we're going to be able to meet with these, underwater civilizations are when everything rises. We're going to meet all of them. We also have a lot of civilizations that live within the mountains. A lot of the big mountains like the Himalayas, wherever there's huge mountain ridges, we also have a network of advanced civilizations that are part of the Agartha and Shambhala, and there's many names for them. I think the one in Telos is Telos is the headquarters, but they're also called something else. I just can't think of the name right now. But what I'm trying to say is that all these inner Earth societies are all going to be resurfacing when the shift takes place. And so for those that are going to be left behind in the third dimensional Earth, they're going to see it as massive cataclysms, continents falling and continents rising, like a geophysical transformation. And then for those that are shifted into the new Terra Earth, the dimensions 4, 5, and 6, are going to be able to see everything intact, including the return of Tartaria, including all those beautiful golden ages that have existed prior to the prior to the dawn of the Dark Ages. It's all going to be there fully intact. So it's not like we're building the new Earth. Yes, in a sense we are, but it's already built because the future is also coexisting with the present. So, this is a time where they are going to merge. The future Earth, the new Earth is already here. It's just a matter of merging with our vibrational frequency. So as we continue to maintain our high vibrational frequency, we will soon be able to match the new Earth, and then that's when the shift's going to take place. Once enough starseeds or light warriors have done the work, of course, but we're almost there. I think we're almost at critical mass. From what I understand, we're pretty much there at the end game.
It's incredible. And have you had perceptions of yourself meeting, like from your higher dimensional aspect, or what insights have you had from whether it's an identity or the higher dimensional aspects of yourself as you're raising vibration?
Sure. Well, I have about 11 other dimensional selves or higher versions. I have a fourth dimensional Ishmael, known by a different name, fifth, sixth, all the way to the 12th. So depending on the dimension, I have a different name. Yeah.
It's like Earth, right? Like Gaia, Sophia, and the names of the Earth.
Yeah, pretty much just like that. Every dimension, our name takes a different form, and we operate at a higher vibration. So we're also a different entity. As we go higher in dimensions, we become more all-encompassing. We become more in tune with the unified field. With the grand macro spirit of the Mother Universe. As we continue going into higher dimensions, so that the higher we go in dimensions, the more powerful also we are. Everybody has a 12-dimensional, Christ avatar, perfected being, also known as a cosmic rishi. And so it's just a matter of integrating, right, and anchoring those versions of ourselves.
Yeah. And consciously choosing to actually connect with it, because I often get those questions of what can we keep doing. And it's one thing to consume and listen to empowering information like what you're sharing, and then the next thing is to taking that action. People can do that for themselves daily, and to connect with those other dimensional aspects of the self. Is that something that you do every day, Ishmael?
Absolutely. Yes. Every day I connect with I try to connect with all 11 other aspects, all 12 versions of me.
Amazing.
And I've been getting a lot of feedback from, especially as I've been traveling the States, I've been meeting people that tell me that they see me in their dreams, that they've been working with me in the astral or in other dimensions. And I always have to remind them that those are different versions of me. Yes, so we're doing a lot of spiritual work, believe it or not, Anikiko. Just because we're only conscious and perceptive or aware of our third dimensional avatar doesn't mean that our other avatars aren't active.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I get that. Well, I had that experience with you when I first saw you, and that's like one of the reasons we sort of instantly connected. And so without any even interference, I remember it was just like, right, let's start talking. And I have that experience as well in the work that I do. People from 10, 15 years ago, people were like, oh, and I'm like, I must be working while I'm dreaming, but it's not tiring in any way, shape or form. It's just my giving myself full permission to be in the space where I need to be to create the shifts that need to happen. And I think we can just all give ourselves that permission. There's a question of a lady asking, is the rapture described in the Bible? What's going to happen to some of us as we transition to 5D?
Absolutely. Yes. It's a separation of worlds. That's all the rapture is. The concept of disappearing is nothing to do with being taken off up in the air in the atmosphere. It has everything to do with going through the stargates and going through that instantaneous shift from our current Earth into the Terra Earth. That's what rapture really meant.
Thank you. We've got another question here of, so I'm just going back scrolling into the YouTube. One second. Yeah, can AI go to 5D?
Well, there's a cybernetic digital version of 5D that the AI god assimilated for his own version of the multiverse known as the Phantom Matrix. So only in that Phantom Matrix the AI could go into 5D. However, in the organic multiverse, because of the fact that the AI is not connected to source, without any emotions, it is forbidden and it is incapable of going into the higher dimensions at this time. And that explains the metaverse. That explains why the dark cult, under the influence of the AI, the ancient AI that we've been all fighting in the multiverse, is creating this alternative version through the sentient world simulator, which is real time, where the AI is gathering and learning our reality in order to mimic and create a digital version of the Earth. And that's going to be happening very soon when the bifurcation of timeline takes place. And so, unfortunately, because many people are going to be sold on the idea of achieving immortality through the merging with technology, because again, they're lazy, they don't want to do it organically. Some of those people are going to end up in that timeline, unfortunately.
Yes. Will the 144,000 have access to different modes of transport to allow them to help others?
Correct. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. The 144,000 are actually going to have access to fifth dimension. Sometimes we forget that a lot of us descended when we volunteered to incarnate. We descended from dimensions all the way up to the 12, and everything in between, of course.
We've also had a question on the etheric templates. Will they upgrade as well?
Wait, can you say that again?
Will the etheric templates emerge as well?
Any templates?
The etheric templates.
Oh, the etheric templates are already here. They're the fifth dimensional Earth, all the way up to the 12th dimensional Earth. The templates, their etheric blueprints are already in place. Yes, they are. And that explains the weakening of our current electromagnetic field, because it's shifting over to a multiple band of electromagnetic frequencies, where, once again, the Earth is going to be operating on multiple dimensions, as it was during the times of Lemuria, during the times of Atlantis, and during the times of Hyperborea.
Which is interesting, because the magnetics are shifting. As we also shift to the crystalline structure, that's also yet another dynamic. It's not so on magnetics, is it? It's a different system. So
exactly.
Like a completely different system. Like, we've been more electrical magnetic, these polars and these forces, whereas we're kind of working at a whole different level of alchemy when it comes to the crystalline realm, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's another aspect. Can you actually talk about the dynamic of shifting, the shift of when we're feeling magnetic shifts, and people have been talking about headaches, dizziness, all these symptoms that you've spoken about before, like the Ascension symptoms, right? But in your experience, like, what's the difference between the magnetic stuff as to when you're more operating at a crystalline alchemical experience?
What is the difference of what? I'm sorry.
The experience of that. So, when you're in that space of magnetics or electricals, and as 3D beings, we can feel it in our body, and we can feel different stuff, or electrical charges, right? But let's say you're moving more into crystalline, or experiencing crystalline type shifts and symptoms and processes. How would you describe, or what could you help identify to be the difference?
Well, it's a feeling of feeling less tense. It's a feeling of feeling like like when you get the butterflies in your stomach when you're about to drop on a ride, right, on a roller coaster. It's the same feeling that one gets when the crystalline structure is becoming activated. It feels like electricity literally is running through your body. And I have felt that before through meditations where I ceased to be a physical body and I became a current of energy. And I was just like, I just felt so freaking good. It's like the best feeling in the world. Yeah.
That's really, really powerful. One of the bigger drops that I had was actually after a conversation we had, Ishmael, when you talked about the diamond DNA. And I started to consciously bring that into my meditations, my visualizations. And these days, when I meditate and when I'm opening up to other things, I really literally see golden light and like diamond sparkles, just energy of just these diamonds all around, and I see it in cells, inside organs, in my field. It's completely different. And that's literally after the conversation that you and I had months ago now. So different buzzing energy has been activating. It's just so exciting. We've got Trina there. Hello, beautiful lady. Asking about the 1212. Like what happened or what's been happening in this portal because it's been really intense. Can you please speak to that?
Yes, due to this rare alignment that takes place every 26,000 years. So we are at the culmination of the 25,690 year cycle, which is known as the Platonic year. The 1212 gates are unique at this time because or 1212 represents completion. It represents our unity with everything that is, because our universe exists within 12 levels of consciousness, 12 dimensional spheres. So it is very important to understand that the gates into the fifth dimensional earth are currently opened. Now, from what I understand is that we first have to advance mentally through our consciousness, through our awareness, through the raising of our frequency. And then our body follows after that. Our body follows where our perception is. So this is an opportunity for us to actually really get grounded and rooted into the fifth dimensional earth and above.
Wow. And what do you think about the 22 12 22? Is that a portal?
There's so many of them, but I've never heard of the 2212 portal.
Well, no, as in like there's the 12, and there's all those dates, the 11, and all of those. But then we've got, if you take the year, so there's the 22nd of the 12th. Oh, but you guys have it the opposite. You have 12, 22, 22, don't you? Americans put the way that you write the date. Does it really matter? Actually, I guess it doesn't really matter. But you've got the 22 and the 22, and then the 12. So I don't know. Could be, but you haven't heard of anything for the 22, 12, 22?
No, not exactly. I feel like things are going to be happening. They could happen at the end of the year, but I'm putting my guess more on the spring of 2023, like March equinox, perhaps. That's where I'm feeling it, like this great shift taking place.
And also, don't forget, there's so much of it has been dependent on where we are at in our consciousness. And if we're still very dense, like it's really, like you say, it's up to each and every one of us, each of the soul tribe doing the work daily. Because the more we do, the more the heartbeat of the earth raises, the more we're bringing, you've said we're bringing up the golden cities. They have no choice but to start to emerge because of the uplifting of all of the energy. So if we keep, if we keep buying into the dark stuff, if we keep investing in fear, if we keep investing in the shadow, if we keep investing in all of those things, that's just going to keep us in the lower realms. So a lot of it as well is up to us in how fast it's going. So many people say, oh, it's not happened yet, I haven't seen anything yet, or what's going on. Well, it can be frustrating because we've been waiting a long time. But there's a lot I believe there's a lot we still need to keep doing.
I agree. Yeah. And we are. I could feel the difference in the Schumann resonance. It is, I think it's over 13.7%. So
Yeah.
13.7 hertz, which is really, really good. Which means like we could actually shift into the new earth any day now. That's what that means.
Well, it's doubled. I mean, we're going from 7.8, right? So
we're going from 7.8 to, I think it's almost at 14. So it's rising.
Exactly. We've got some questions around any updates on the heads of the dark entities or the forces. Any heads? And
Yes,
any updates on the heads?
yes, there is. Doctor Doom starts with an F. Is going to be the first one to get arrested, and then followed by the big G, the big eights. And then after him, it's going to be Mr. Mark Z, starts with Z, because of his manipulation of the computer systems that led to the election fraud. And then, of course, after that is going to be the laptop. The laptop is going to just, it's the beans are going to be spilled everywhere, all through the airwaves.
Haven't a lot of these people all already been taken care of? So we're only dealing with the copies of these people?
Yeah, the copies. That's what I mean. The copies are, we're going to see the final takedown of the copies of the NPCs. Yeah.
Which is that really the benefit of the, disclosure for everyone else? Because a lot of people who are in this space have already kind of gone, well, they've kind of been taken care of and etc. So this is really just the public or the disclosure aspect. Or what would you say that's about?
Say that again. I'm sorry, Anikiko.
What would you say that's about, that we need to actually see that this takedown when the originals have already been taken care of and they're being dealt with, right? So is this for the benefit of just the disclosure or the awakening of the rest of mankind, or what would you?
Yes, it's going to be both, because this is what's going to cause a critical mass awakening effect, where for the first time in history, the normies, or those that are still heavenly programmed, are going to be shocked. And that shockness is needed in order to what? To bring about a mass awakening.
Reset.
So that's pretty much, yeah, that's why this is happening.
So one of the things that I've really, kept saying to the people in my tribe doing this work and in the space that we're in is that they're going to need us, right? They're going to need our love, our compassion, our patience. People are getting so impatient, like, when's it happening, and all this energy, right? And I get it, because we're just like, we've been just waiting, and we deserve to all raise up, right? But the thing is, we've got each other, right? Number one. And one of the things I feel is like when we get that ego out of it, then we just realize that there's going to be so many people who we're going to need to give that love to and have that patience with. Because can you imagine really how the normies or the rest of the world is going to respond when they catch up with the things that you and I and this community have been aware of for sometimes, some of you, it's decades, and people thought you were cuckoo, right? But you knew there was something going on. So I just, they're going to need you. So be patient, and we've got each other, we've got each other in this space.
They're going to need all of us, every single starseed is going to be a mentor, a person that's going to assist the freshly awakened, a person that's going to be there as a way to console them, as a person who's going to actually lead the way for the newbie souls.
Yeah.
So, yeah, our role really begins after the ascension. That's when we become the great leaders. We are going to be the new elites, you can say.
Yeah.
But without giving us the name elite, because of course we're going to be very humble about things, and we're not going to hoard the resources. We're actually going to make sure that everybody gets everything in plentiful, and that no man, child, or woman, or animal is left behind in bringing forth a better world for every single living thing on earth. And then from this point, we're going to also do the same everywhere in our galaxy. We're going to just bring balance to the galaxy. And then we're also going to do the same, in our entire universe. We're going to bring balance to the entire universe.
Yeah.
So
amazing. And that relates to one of the questions we have: is this happening not just for our cosmos, but it is, and that's for you on their fresh face on YouTube.
It's happening in the multiverse. There's a great cleansing happening at this time. Remember, it's all happening simultaneously. All the dimensions, which of course, okay, the higher you go in dimensions, the more future, that's the future. Lower dimension represents the past, linear thinking from point A to point B. Higher dimensions, you could actually see everything taking place at the same time. So it's already happening. You know, it's all happening. What happens here is a reflection of what's happening up there. It's as above, so below.
And exactly like what Ishmael has said in the past, and same thing you've just responded there on YouTube, is that, yeah, we're preparing for assistance. So we're training ourselves, we're getting ready for the final race, you know, we're getting ready, like training our bodies, like eating well. We've spoken so many times with Ishmael about what you can do personally with nutrition, with being grounded, with starting with gratitude. We've done our daily top 3 tips. So all of those things that we've talked about, these are the things that are assisting us to be of service, to be here born for what we're born to experience at this time. The 144,000, Ishmael, I've got a question. What is that? That's not just 144 people, it's 144. What can it relate to? We've talked about 12 strands of DNA. We've talked about a lot of that before. So could you please give a snapshot for this question for today?
Sure, it's got to do with various things. It's got to do with genetic expression, which means 144 strands of DNA. We are the first species in the multiverse that has that will have the opportunity to reach that level of power. 104 strands of DNA, which is unheard of. It also means frequency and vibration. 144,000 hertz per second is vibrating in relationship to the realms of eternity. And that also has to do with 144,000 cosmic rishis. Cosmic rishis are cosmic beings that decided to come from the 13, 14, and 15 dimensions, levels of reality, that are also an embodiment. So it has a lot to do with all of that, you know.
Also, just coming back to that expansion, that expression of the multidimensional aspects of ourselves, you know, for just speaking to some of the people who have been tested or feel like they've been really frustrated, where, you know, when you see some injustice, you know, and you get upset because you see something wrong happening in the world, you know, and all of a sudden you have that inner fire, you get at that anger, and you're like, you want right to happen because that's what you want to happen. And you're at this level of justice needs to be served. But then when you get beyond, then when you kind of not just work on yourself, but when you get into that expansion feeling of love, you raise your vibration, you're kind of less looking for that justice, and you're less looking for righting the wrongs, etc. You start to just feel that compassion, and that love is what starts to shift those lower aspects of our we must seek the rights and the wrongs. So this starts to naturally shift. And I don't know about everyone else out there, but I've really noticed the things that I used to be really angry about or want not just revenge. That's kind of a heavy word, but sometimes you feel like really hard done by something. It's no longer relevant because of the different aspects of where I've gone to now. So I don't know if that sheds some light onto where we're all going, but we're not going to seek the same kind of righteousness when we're at those other levels. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So it's just shedding some light there. And does the 528 hertz help DNA transformation? Is that yeah. So Ishmael knows a lot about the hertz because frequency and frequency sound. So yeah, do you want to say anything about the 528?
The 528 is it's pretty much the 5th dimension. That's the hertz that allows for 5th dimensional physical living. So when you're vibrating at the 528, you are absolutely protected. There is no dark entity or parasite or archon or anything that could penetrate you. You are absolutely indivisible.
And you can do that. Like, let me just speak to that from an aspect of sound. You can do that. I use my voice, I use it consciously. You know that I record the music at different hertz and different frequencies. But one of the most powerful things that everyone on this channel, everyone who's watching today has is your own frequency in your voice. And that has the ability to transmute so much within you and immediately take you to the 528. So where you can work with your voice and your sound, that is the one transformative manifestation tool that you have, along with your breath, right? To just, whoosh, there you go, you know? Ishmael, you know, I know you need to go for your next event. our interview, and we were a little bit shorter today, everyone, because of like fluffing around. I'm sure we're going to have another chat soon. Before we go, Ismael, I'd love to do a short meditation with you.
Okay.
A short one, everyone, like 5 minutes, okay? Just a really short one, because guess what? Our consciousness is what's emerging the visibility of these cities and the visibility of these ancient aspects. So before we do that, is there anything else you want to say, Ismael? Or let us know about?
I still oh yeah, my second edition will be ready by the end of December with an added chapter that's going to segue into the volume 2. Yeah, it's going to leave people in suspense. And I also have, I think, a little bit of room left in my February class for those that want to take my Starseed cosmology course. It is mind-blowing. People are actually transforming as a result of the information that I provide in that course and the techniques that I teach. And I do have a website now. It's under ourcosmicorigin.com. Just all one word, ourcosmicorigin.com.
Yay, that's the hub where you can find Ismael. And that's amazing. We're so excited to see that. I still got the I've got the original one here, and I just I flicked, like, this is like a multi referencing book. Everyone, you got to go back and forth, and it's quite amazing because it's full of new insights every time you read it, right? As you integrate new information.
You could actually read it. You could read it from any chapter. Every chapter has its own revelation, its own activation codes.
Yes, I testify to that. And I have a little announcement. I've got a track coming out called I'm Rising, and it's about everyone rising, right? And that's coming out just in 5 days, so watch out for that. I'm excited to share that with everyone. It's all of my tracks are recorded in a specific frequency so that they have a beneficial effect on the consciousness of the planet. So let's do this beautiful few-minute meditation with raising our own consciousness.
All right, so let's just take a few breathers to relax our mind. Shift your focus to our heart, because our heart is our own miniature central sun. So we activate the heart chakra at this time, which is at the center of both the higher chakras that connects us to our etheric and spiritual self, and the lower chakras, which connect us to the physical self. And as a reminder, we are here to integrate spirit and matter. So let the heart be the integrating factor of bridging the gap between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, and spiritualizing matter. Now let's extend this heart. This beautiful radiation that is coming from our heart in a circumference fashion, we see it extend all the way up to the planet. We see it extend, engulfing the entire globe as I speak. And we also ask for the integration of Earth's higher versions, Sophia, Aramatena, Gaia, and Tara. We ask for an infusion of the Earth with her higher selves, as we also begin to fuse with our higher selves. We invoke the presence of our interdimensional self over self, our galactic self, our Christ over self, and every avatar that we have that exists in between. All 12 versions of ourselves. We ask at this time to anchor and merge to begin the integration process as we welcome the Earth back into original glory as it was before the fall in consciousness. And now we extend the light that is engulfing the Earth at this time to the entire galaxy, Melchior. May the entire galactic system be cleansed of all negativity, of all dark forces, AI, Archon energy, Draconians, anything that is still lurking in or playing the role of evil. We ask to transmute you and bring you back to source at this time. You are released from your role as playing the antagonist. And now we extend this engulfing light from the galactic system to the entire universe. We engulf the entire local universe of Nebadon that we are a part of, again, transmuting any entities that are still playing the dark role. We bring you back to source, and we thank you for your service of playing the dark role, because that allowed us to grow. It allowed us to be challenged so that we could become bigger and stronger. But we also welcome you back to the family of light, as it once was before duality, before polarity set in. And now we extend this engulfing life to the entire multiverse, to the central universe, the omniverse. We clear every entity that is still lurking or playing the dark side. We clear you and transmute you in the name of the mighty I Am, which is the God's force within all of us. And we bring you back to source, back to a state of singularity. Now let's bring this energy and intentional focus back to our bodies as we begin to anchor in all 12 dimensions and reroot them into the earth. We ground them into the earth at this time, in preparation for the opening of the halls of Amenti, 12 major stargates, as well as the 324 minor gates that exist geographically throughout the planet. It is time to activate the new earth, and so be it. Now bring yourself back into your body and feel your toes and feel your avatar, your third dimensional avatar. Bring your awareness back into yourself. With the understanding that you are God in embodiment, and that there is nothing outside of yourself, for you are it. All your answers, everything that you need is within you, for there is nothing to acquire. We are completed beings. Now, upon realizing that, let's step into our power. Very euphoric, huh?
Just beautiful.
And I believe that as we share this on our platforms, it's going to reach more people. And then when more people do the meditation, it's going to create a collective, massive effect, from this earth to the entire multiverse. It's just going to be like an EMP, transmuting all negativity back into source consciousness, back into oneness.
That was so powerful. Oh, how'd everyone go, huh? Beautiful. So many beautiful comments. Yeah, a lot of love coming through. Normally, you get all those love hearts on Instagram. That's what you're getting on YouTube. Uh, we're definitely going to we're going to get this recording to you, so we'll edit the beginning of the stuff when we were trying to work out how to get onto Instagram, and we will get this recording to you, Ismael, so that you can share. And to everyone else, if you found this powerful, then please keep sharing it, because we are what we're emanating right now and what we are expanding into and feeling. Let's just multiply that times 1,000 and just feel that go out there. Amazing. Thank you. Deep, deep divine gratitude for you, what you're doing, and for everyone on our channel, everyone on who's listening. I'm just going to press the let's take the heavy load from your shoulders, Ismael. People are really just grateful and just, are you okay? They're asking how you're doing.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm just taking it slower this month. I'm trying to not overwhelm myself. I did 6 months of just almost working 20 hours a day, busy. So I'm really just treating myself. I'm trying to, you know, sit back and relax for a bit and just allow myself to be a little bit more free.
Wish that for you. I wish you divine freedom, Ismael, just so that you can recharge and prepare yourself for that final battle, right? Yeah. Okay, everyone on YouTube, I'm going to stop the stream and we will see you later, probably next month sometime. And over and out for now. Ismael, just hang on there. I'm going to just stop the share. Okay, bye, everyone.